Who are you?
Jimmy Olsen, photographer.
Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen, photographer.
Jimmy Olsen, this is Clark Kent.
We have to help Jimmy.
He was very cute in a bow tie kind of way.
Oh, me? Right, Jimmy, Monsieur Olsen.
This is Mr. Olsen.
Jimmy.
The Mr. Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen.
Well, that's a pretty tall order, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
I'm Mr. Olsen. Jimmy? Jimmy, I'm Jimmy Olsen.
Nobody knows you around with Jimmy Olsen.
Hi, Jimmy.
Jimmy, you're a rotten reporter.
Jimmy.
Guy, Jimmy Olsen.
Mr. Olsen.
You know your way around cameras, right?
Mr. Olsen in.
Mr. Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy.
Actually, it's James Olsen. Hey, Smallville fans! Thank you very much for watching this special feature on the DVD. My name's Aaron Ashmore, and I play Jimmy Olsen, which you guys may or may not know. As much as I'm fairly new to the character, Jimmy's been around for decades, and I'm actually joined today by three of my other favorite Jimmys. And would you guys care to introduce yourself?
Please, age before beauty. Please.
I'm Jack Larson. I played Jimmy Olsen in The Adventures of Superman, beginning in 1951 with George Reeves.
And I'm Marc McClure. I played Jimmy Olsen with the fabulous teacher Christopher Reeve, and Jack Larson taught me everything I know.
I am Sam Huntington, and I played Jimmy Olsen in Superman Returns in 2006, and grew up watching the marvelous Marc McClure.
We keep passing it on.
That's the way it works.
Now, how old were you when you started Jimmy Olsen?
That's a good question.
That's the question.
19, I guess.
Wow.
19?
19.
Yeah, because I was 20.
Yeah.
I was 23.
25, I think.
Well, that's about the number.
26?
That's right around the number to start Jimmy.
Yeah.
So, Jack, would you mind telling us how you got the role, how it started out?
They asked me.
Just that simple?
Is how I got the role. It was the rise of television. And the Superman show, the one I did, was going to be the first show ever shot for television with one camera. I wasn't familiar with Jimmy, but I was very familiar with Superman. And I became a big fan of the comic books initially when they came out.
So you had the Superman comic books? You grew up with the Superman
I
comics?
had boxes of them.
Wow.
And when I moved away from home, my mother gave them to the Salvation Army.
I was going to say, because they have this thing called eBay now.
So let me ask you a question, because there's something interesting. Like, I know when I got the part, I was really excited. Like, it was something that was really exciting. Like, at the time, was it a choice part for you to get? Was it something that you were excited
about? Work.
Well, we all need the work, right?
Right.
They told me, take the money and run when I did it. It was
advice.
51. It was like 5 weeks' work. I was in New York. I was doing things, and nobody cared. Within a month, I couldn't take a bus. I couldn't take the subway.
No kidding.
No.
A lot of girls chasing you?
People were cab drivers. I would walk on.
We never got anybody chasing us.
No, that's all right.
No, and I would walk, and cab driver. This was within a month. They'd yell at me, "Hi, Jimmy, where's your pal?" It was all of this is New York City,
and they were buying into that.
How did you get the part of Jimmy Olsen?
I was on a houseboat. I was living on a houseboat when I got out of high school, and I got the call to, try out for Jimmy Olsen. Dick Donner, who directed the film, always wanted to live on a houseboat. So we just talked about boats for, 20 minutes. Never talked about the film or anything. Finally said, okay, thanks for coming, see you later. And as I'm walking out the door, they go, do you know who Jimmy Olsen is? I said, golly, Mr. Kent. They started laughing, and I left. And then it was about 3 or 4 months later where I got a call back. And then I go in there, and they say, we just want to remember what you look like. You got the part. And it was fabulous. I mean, we got there, and it was like the Shepperton Studios. They took me right there first. And it was that very first flying shot with Chris where he's taking off.
In the Fortress of Solitude, right?
Yeah, in the Fortress of Solitude. And I'm walking in there, and it really is, how did I get here?
Yeah.
You know? Sam?
Mark.
We'll make our way down, but Sam, just tell us what kind of office you walked into.
Geez Louise. I had a meeting with the casting director, Roger Musenden, and one of the producers, Chris Lee. And I went in and I said, you should give me this job. Because
Just straight up, just
because
like
I
that?
said that it was the first time I've ever been kind of brazen in my life. Because I felt so passionately. I've been a huge fan of the Donner films for my whole life, literally, and felt so passionately about the project that I was like, you know what, this deserves, you know, a little chutzpah. So I much like you, Mark. 3 weeks went by, something like that, and I was like, all right, well, that's that.
It's over.
Another couple weeks went by. And I found out I got the part. And I never read anything. The first time I ever read anything was in rehearsal with Brandon in Sydney.
Maybe that's the way.
First time I ever read anything.
That must be the way they cast Jimmy Olsen.
I guess so. And I never
because we would just screw it up.
Right.
Aaron, now what's your story?
Yes, Aaron.
We all.
I did have to read, so now I feel like
to
read.
How dare they?
Tell us about you, kid.
Well, for me, I was living down here in LA, and I'd been auditioning and stuff for a while, and not a lot was happening, so I was feeling a little down, so I decided to go back home to Toronto in Canada, where I'm from, to just kind of recharge and, you know, get re-inspired, whatever. And I wasn't really gung-ho about going out for stuff. I just really wanted to take a break, but I got a call saying they want you to put yourself on tape for Jimmy Olsen, and I thought, you know, I'm not in LA, just sending a tape through the mail, you know, it's just you know, I just didn't see it happening, but I really like the character, and I've, you know, seen, you know, you guys working on it and stuff, and I read the comic book, so I was a fan, so it was really hard to pass up. So I did it, sent it away, and literally, you know, didn't think about it for, you know, 2 weeks. I thought there's no way they're going to hire somebody that I actually see and talk with and stuff. Like, obviously, that's what how it worked for you guys, right? Like, it's very much a personality thing and stuff. And
Must have been a great tape.
I didn't think so at the time, but yeah, apparently was, yeah.
In color.
Yeah, so I got a call saying, you know, literally, like, how would you like to come to Vancouver, like, tomorrow or the next day and start playing Jimmy Olsen? And
Holy
I said,
cow.
So there
well,
was
let
no
me think
read.
about it. Yeah, okay.
Right.
I would say Jack Larson started the Jimmy Olsen look. And was that, did you ask for that look, or they just gave you that look from the start? The bow tie, you know,
the
just
look.
how he
The
appeared.
Jimmy Olsen look. My Jimmy was going to be drowned if they could do it.
That's what Jimmy
and
does.
so we had to have doubles and triples. And so it was what Matson's had, that they had doubles of the coats, the
Can you guys
bow
toe
ties.
bow ties?
And,
Can you guys tie bow ties?
I did.
No.
Do you? Yeah. No, that was my one criteria. I said I won't do it. I'm not wearing it unless I can tie it.
Look at
I
Jack
don't want
putting
to
his foot down.
No,
Holy
I have
moly,
a little
good thing they-
class, kid. A little class.
So
None of those
and
clip-ons
if
for
I
you.
wear a tuxedo, I tie the bow tie. I look down on people who do clipped-on bow ties.
Yes.
Or when it's black tie, you tie the thing. So I used to I tie it, untie it between scenes. I can tie it without looking in it.
Wow.
I am brilliant at tying bow ties. The real deal bow tie is in the Smithsonian. Mine.
Yep.
But mine, I gave to the Smithsonian.
Isn't that cool?
Mine's in a shadow box in my house.
Hold on to it.
My mom did it up real nice.
Really?
My wife stole one. That's right.
Stole the
She
Jimmy
stole
Olsen
the
tie?
tie.
Wow.
And
Does she make you wear it around?
every now and then.
Yeah.
With just that. So I remember the first thing that I did was I had a fitting to get into my bow tie. And, you know, pick out a bunch of clothes. And so we went to this studio in L.A., and it was also like kind of the fabrication shop for the suit. And I cried. I went there and I saw all the blue fabric and the crest and the capes, and they were showing me everything, and I literally just like started crying out of joy. It was like one of those moments I will never forget it as long as I live. And I was sitting there with my wife, and I just looked at her, and it's just this is it. This is we're making the Superman movie. Like, this is incredible, you know.
How'd you end up the first day of the set? What did that feel like?
It felt great. I literally, it was happened really quick. I got a call to fly out to Vancouver, so I went out there. And the first day that I worked, it was a big kind of special effects shot, and the whole Daily Planet was rigged. There was this giant earthquake and stuff that was happening. And I'd never really done any special effects stuff up until then, but now I'm actually an expert at earthquakes and all that stuff. My earthquake acting is really quite good.
And you did yours for 8 years. You were Jimmy for 9 years?
Yeah, we were going to do another season in 1959 when George Reeves died.
And were you, by that time, going, I got to get out of here?
I was Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
I mean, you're Jimmy Olsen, you're Jimmy Olsen, and you're Jimmy Olsen. But believe me, I was the
Jimmy,
first
the
one that
original.
got typed. I really got typed in 1953.
By the time I did it, there was no typecast.
No, it's different. At that time,
You were locked in.
things were very different. Television was different than it is now.
So there was a real separation at that point.
Total.
Yeah.
Now there's no separation at all.
And plus, Jimmy, I mean, what a great character to play. He is such a good-hearted guy. What Superman represented with truth, justice, and the American way, that Jimmy had those exact same values, where his innocence, was so fantastic.
It's a reminder to Superman what he's fighting for, what he's trying to protect is that innocence, that optimism, all those things. I mean, that's
Jimmy
really
represented it.
I did too, and I love doing it. I love doing it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I didn't right away. I loved doing it, and I loved doing it more as we went on.
Did you ever come up with any backstory for Jimmy Olsen? I mean, like his apartment. Where does he go? Because we've never gone home with Jimmy. I don't think. Did you ever have an apartment in the show?
Yes.
You did?
Yes, Jimmy.
What was
had
going
one.
on there?
Well, his mother was in the apartment.
His mother?
Yes.
She does, yeah.
That makes so much sense.
I don't even know if I knew that.
Yeah, no, but I took
Jimmy
it.
was
I think
living
I-
with his mother. And, Jack,
It was
one
in
show.
something Arms. It
One
was
show, or was it?
Yeah,
did
it would
they-
be one show or something. But no, I never thought of a backstory.
And what's the story? Does Jimmy just kind of show up to work?
Well, when I'm introduced, Clark and Jimmy aren't friends. Like they're kind of they've never
at
met.
odds.
Yeah,
It's the
a little
first
bit. Yeah,
meeting.
yeah. So they're not friends. They don't know each other from anything. So that was kind of interesting, knowing what the story is. That they are such good friends.
Establish the relationship.
Yeah, and it's like
And they're
great
almost
day.
equals. I mean, they are equals.
There's less of an age difference, I
Right,
think,
they're-
than
yeah,
in
they're
the
almost the
past.
same
Yeah,
age.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe a year or two younger, or they might be the same age. But
Well, no, Jack, you knew that if you got in trouble, I mean, even if Superman had a lunch appointment, he's going to save you and be late for the lunch appointment.
It's dominated my life.
Yeah.
Every time I get in trouble as me, Jack Larson, I see my final innocence is maybe Superman would save me.
Oh my God.
Have you been saved?
No.
Yeah, there's been a couple instances where, it's just Jimmy in Smallville doesn't even know that he's being saved, really.
Right.
There's some bomb going to go off or whatever, and it gets, checked out into space and stuff, and Jimmy's just like, oh, the bomb disappeared.
With Jimmy, I wonder how Superman related to Jimmy. What Jimmy meant to Superman.
Yeah.
Is it just because they were at the Daily Planet together, or did he really connect to something that Jimmy had that he just said, this is a guy I could trust? I can almost tell him, I'm Clark Kent and Superman.
Safe.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
He's not human,
Right.
as much as he has a lot of human characteristics and he grew up in, on Earth, he's not a human being, but it's like the optimism and all the good qualities
naivete,
of
innocence,
humanity
exactly.
are in Jimmy Olsen. And I think that's a real reminder for Superman what he's fighting for.
Because who else can he really talk to? He can't really talk to anybody.
How do you feel about Jimmy? What did Superman get from Jimmy? What?
He gets somebody to rescue.
Is that why was he using this just for the rescue?
I don't know. It's the part is the best friend. You're the sidekick.
Hey, let me ask you something. So Kellogg's, George and Noel used to do advertisements for Kellogg's, right? For the cereal?
No, George and I did.
So
It's
how
a
was
sore
that?
point. Well, it was wonderful because we made money when we made. I mean, we didn't get any money for the show. We got my top money was $3.50 a show, and so they were doing these things of George and me in George's supposedly in a breakfast room. Jimmy had spent the night at the house. They were having breakfast together, but they wouldn't let Noel Neal have breakfast together because it said it wouldn't look right for Kellogg's and sugar frosted
Yeah,
flakes.
you did stunts.
I was in the Daily Planet so much that I really didn't get to do too much. But the one good story that I have is in the Daily Planet there was an earthquake, and so I'm supposed to be standing there before the shockwave comes. When it comes, duck out of frame, and then slowly come back up into frame. So they start counting, and I'm like, all right, what can I do? What can I do that could be what can I do that could be funny? This is literally like 10 seconds before this thing's supposed to go off. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to bend out of frame, I'm going to muss my hair up a little bit, and then I'm going to stand back up and look all scared. The thing goes off. It's very loud. It actually really does scare the hell out of me. I fall out of frame. I do one sweep with my hair, and I come back up into frames real slowly. And all of a sudden, everyone starts cracking up laughing. And I'm completely freaked out because the shot was supposed to go on.
Yeah. We got to get
so,
this.
Right, and the shot was supposed to go on past that. And I hear Brian go, cut. And he comes running in and all but holds a mirror up in front of me. And my hair is literally standing straight up. And
electrical shock.
And he's like, you're really lucky that the window directly behind you, which was the door to Perry White's office, didn't go. Because you couldn't see anything. So the shot was worthless anyway. But if it had worked, that's $350,000.
Wow.
This one shot, I would have ruined the whole thing. Wow. So that was the
So was there a lesson there?
Man, I don't know. The lesson is don't do anything stupid.
That's where I thought Donna was great, where we came in and found stuff.
Sure.
Gift.
But did you do your own stunts?
My Jimmy, I've gotten actually to throw some punches and knock some people out, which I was not expecting.
Sounds like Jimmy's pretty aggressive in Smallville.
Yeah. Well, he gets himself into these situations. He's got to get himself out sometimes.
Fight himself out.
Season 7, Smallville.
This Jimmy's kind of fighting his way out of things. I mean, do you feel like you could fight as Jimmy?
Oh, no. So I couldn't fight as myself.
Yeah. Well, my Jimmy fought too.
I was
you tried. I saw your fight. You tried. They put you away. Please, it was like one punch, and some of those shots you could just see him missing. Please, Jack, you got to call that a fight. Please, you would try to kick him in the shin.
It was a stunt.
You try to kick him in the shin.
He had show after show after show. They attempted to drown Jimmy, and it's not easy.
I would like to recount my experience with Jack. He was perfect the whole day, and it was a long day. It was a 16-hour day, something like that, and then you were out the next day. I couldn't believe it. I was exhausted, and when I left, you were still like,
Jack,
I couldn't believe it.
How much fun was that? To go back there and do that, and just be on a set of a Superman set.
I liked it. I did. It was wonderful to be there, but the last time I ever worked, the director was there under the camera, like would have been with you, with Richard Donner.
Yeah.
They're watching you and it's cut, or is that okay, print it, whatever. Well, Brian is away with monitors galore.
Yeah.
I'd been told about this, but there's money. He's nowhere around, and
cameras
so
are everywhere.
He's far. Your director's far away, like Jehovah, and
you hear a booming voice.
Well, you do, yeah. You hear this thing, and I'm used to Raoul Walsh, D.W. Griffith's assistant, who directed my first, being under the camera and nursing you, and you're giving this performance, and so this is the first time I've worked with these monitors and the voice of the eminence coming from the thing. So I didn't know actually what I just wanted to please him, as you did with the stuff, but I didn't quite know, because I'm used to looking at the director right after. Is that okay for you? What I've done.
Wherever you are.
You guys worked together on the show, didn't you?
Actually, no. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance.
Aaron wasn't there, and I just came. I was there for a week.
Gotcha.
Beautiful. And it was like I got to play a Kryptonian scientist.
Very cool.
And because Chris got to do it, Margie got to do it. I think Terrence Stamp is the voice.
Yeah, he's
so there's a lot of people from the film that have crossed paths, and it was good. Like just using the word Krypton. And I was trying to be English. I was trying to the planet Krypton.
That's
and
hilarious.
they go, no, it's Krypton. They made me pronounce Krypton, which was cool. But for some reason, I wanted this guy.
Well, it's
because
like
everybody on
Brando.
Krypton was English, and also all the people in there were English.
Well, so what's the greatest thing you think you've done up there in Vancouver? Like, what's the best day on set?
Well, I think that some of the most fun that I've had are scenes with Clark. So there was one scene where basically I kind of confront Clark. If you're going to take my girl, you better look after her, or else, kind of thing. And that was probably one of the most fun scenes, because it's just like
threatening the man.
Yeah, because that's exactly what I'm like. I will knock you out.
Do you think the character really would have, or do you think?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
So Jimmy's gotten tougher. Jimmy is.
Well, look at him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so much big. I mean, I wouldn't mess
Guys,
with
were we
Aaron
arm wrestling
Ashmore.
afterwards?
Come on.
But see, I would never see Jimmy as a guy starting a fight.
Mr. Larson, do you take pictures in your life? Are you photographically inclined? No.
I'm not photographically inclined. I've taken pictures.
I don't think I ever did. I mean, I love the camera, but
I took the camera.
Did you?
I
With
like
that lens?
That was one of them, yeah.
You know what? You got a
That's
good camera.
No, it's killer, man. It was a Nikon D2H. I even remember.
Did you always have a camera? I don't know if
Yes.
you always had a camera.
Yeah, Jimmy always had a camera.
Never
from
without
the
it.
very first show we shot. But later, really, he was more of a cub reporter.
Sure.
I couldn't do all these comedy bits with the camera. I mean, there's only so much you can do. Oh, whoops! Oh, I let that bulb go off.
How fun is it to see all these Jimmy Olsens following you, and just knowing that it's not going to stop?
It's wonderful to be part of something like Superman, which is mythic. And I've been asked the question a lot doing interviews through the years, why is Superman always successful?
Because of its characters. Like an idea of, where do we think this Jimmy boy is going to end up? Right. But as far as the longevity of Jimmy Olsen, I just see him representing goodness. Mm. The great thing about it with Superman is that, and with their characters, is that there's value to this guy. Mm. I mean, how far do you see your...
Well, I think that growing up and stuff, when you watch watch stuff and read the comic books, I mean, you really want to be Superman, right? Like, you really do. But the truth of the matter is that, we're not. We are really, we're all Jimmys, right?
Well, I think Jimmy will always be there, and we'll all be maybe back one day passing Jimmy on. I've always wanted to do it. But I love playing Jimmy, and I always played him. You asked about backstory, and so I'll go to that. I always played him as if he was, what the word you used, innocent, but a bit dumb. Because, no, I won't even say naive.
Really?
He couldn't tell, my Jimmy couldn't tell Superman from Clark Kent because he had a pair of glasses on. And I think it makes Jimmy lovable.
Yeah.
That he's that, to use, naive, innocent.
I never want to think of Jimmy as
a little bit dim.
I don't want to accept that. I don't know about you guys, but I refuse to accept that.
I'll take it. I'll take it. It's fine.
You kid.
Well, I think as long as there's a Superman, I think there'll be a Jimmy Olsen. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have a Jimmy Olsen. You have to have an audience. You have to have that ear. It's refreshing. It's innocent. Mm-hmm. It's
dim.
And dim. I feel honored to be a part of it, to be a page in the book, if you will.
Right on. So, a toast to Jimmy.
Sure, with my coffee.
With a little tea.
Yeah, right.
What a good idea.
Yeah, this was